ultimate fanfare.
What's going on, world? Welcome to this episode of the PlayAction Podcast. We got Brandon here. We got my dog Colin. What's up, bro?
Man, it's a great day to be alive because I just found out from my friend in Atlanta that it is 40 in the morning and 60 in the afternoon. Bro, it's cold up in D.C., yet here in the great state of Texas, it is a comfortable 64 degrees when I woke up this morning, and I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it is, I think it got up to maybe 80 degrees in the afternoon. It is an awesome, awesome feeling to be warm all day long. But, you know what makes me feel cold? My New York Giants, Dexter Lawrence, star defensive tackle for the New York Giants, has requested a trade from the establishment due to contract negotiation disagreements. He wants more money. Giants don't want to pay him that much money. We're going to see where it goes. I really would like to have Dexter Lawrence to start the season with a new defensive coordinator and a new head coach. But at the end of the day, are the Giants going to give him the money? Or are they going to try to get maybe a first-round pick for him? I would love that if we could. Maybe also a player would make me even happier. What do you think, bro?
I think they're going to work things out with Dexter Lawrence. I think this is just a posture move, request for a trade. It's like when you go out the room, they hit you with a low number and be like, all right, bro, trade me. I'm trying to get out of here. And they be like, what? Calm down. And especially certain agents use this as a tactic, to put it out in the media. So I really don't believe that he's going anywhere. But if he does, yes, it's going to maybe have to be a player and first or second round pick. That's what I see getting back for him. But I don't think he's going anywhere.
I hope you're right because Dexter Lawrence is the lifeblood of the Giants defense. He didn't have a statistically great season last year. But I think that was a lot due to the contract. He didn't want to get himself hurt. But we've seen him at his best. He is helping at the linebacking core by applying pressure up the middle, allowing them to sit there and flow freely to the ball, allowing the defensive backs less time to have to cover because the quarterback's running for their life. I think with a new defensive coordinator, new head coach, you want Dexter Lawrence on your line. You need Dexter Lawrence on that line. And I hope Giants get smart and get it done. Pay the man. He's worth the money. And he's only 28. He's going to be in his prime for another 4 years. I would love to see it get done. But if it doesn't get done, then I want to see multiple first-round picks or a wide receiver with a pick would make myself happy. Speaking of picks, I've been looking at the big four, ESPN, NFL, Bleacher Report, all have their redrafts. And after last year, which was supposed to be not very quarterback-friendly but defensive-friendly, turns out most of these redrafts have quarterbacks going 1, 2, 3, Cam Ward, Tyler Shough, and Jackson Dart in some sort of order, which is kind of surprising. And then the fourth was Will Campbell, who everyone lambasted last year because of his performance in the Super Bowl last calendar year. He's still going number 4 to the Pats. On everyone's board, still going number 4 to the Pats, so it just shows his upside. What surprised me, though, is the fact that the quarterbacks weren't highly touted last year, and they turned out to be the best players. I mean, obviously Cam Ward, not a lot of wins, but we saw the talent. Jackson Dart revitalized the entire Giants fan base, and Tyler Shough, I think, was really surprising, being the old 26-year-old rookie, looking like the man there in the New Orleans Saints. But that makes me think about this year's draft. It's not really quarterback heavy either.
Yeah.
But is Mendoza going to show up? Is Simpson going to show up? Is any of the other quarterbacks that are coming out, Klubnik, Nussmeier, all these other guys? I wonder if this year's draft is going to turn out kind of like last year's draft, where these quarterbacks kind of rise up to the top and are able to help a lot of teams. I'm kind of confused. I don't know where. Honestly, bro, I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. Because last year's draft still just blew me away. I mean, Travis Hunter, number 2 overall pick. He's either going 5 to number 32 because of the injuries. Abdul Carter, who's supposed to be the defensive player of the year, had a decent season, but nowhere near defensive player of the year type status. I'm kind of confused with last year's draft and then looking at this year's draft.
I mean, speaking back on Campbell, because I was kind of rough on him, a couple shows back. I mean, minus the Super Bowl, he had a real good season. he was one of the main reasons why they helped, the Patriots get to the Super Bowl. So like he was a solid stand-in starter all year long. So like, hey, Super Bowl, it happens sometimes. Those years, I believe back with Cam Newton lost the Super Bowl with the Broncos. They had just an awesome D line that just wrecks. Yeah, they just with Von Miller and them boys, they just wreck shop. So like, it's just certain times like that where, especially like you just mentioned, Dexter Jackson, how he didn't want to get himself injured. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go as hard. Yeah, Dexter Lawrence, my bad. But when those big guys on the D line, when they know it's for all the marbles, oh, it's a problem. And especially if you got some dogs on that D line. So like, hey, I can't really get mad at him. Like he a rookie. He got bullied. He gonna learn from it, and he's a big dude. He ain't small. So like, I think he gonna have still have a promising career. But as far as I'm a little biased with this situation because ain't nobody mentioned my boy Shador, number 2. You see my boy, they changed the number up to number 2. So, shout out Shador, I know everybody hating on him, they leave his name out. Come on, bro. Buddy from New Orleans. New Orleans is, I understand that you said they had a decent season, but I don't remember them making the playoffs. So, I'm just saying. And I don't really, the Saints, that whole NFC East is kind of like NFC East is kind of wide open with the Saints. I'm going with my boy Baker up down in Tampa. But the Falcons, they got Stefanski now, so I don't know about that. But I don't know how they left my boy off this list. I'm starting a little salty about that. But Travis, hey, he played maybe a quarter of the season, a little over a quarter of the season. So we really don't know how he's gonna fit in. But I guarantee it's another weapon for Trevor Lawrence that had almost an MVP season. So it's gonna be a good addition to him get back in the field. But of course, I feel like leading into next year, I feel like my boys over in the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, we need to figure out what we're doing in the draft. Okay, that's the thing I'm focused on. So you need to get my boy. I don't know how we likely go to the Giants, but it is what it is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I feel like I know our wide receiver core is pretty good. I still don't. I believe we need a 6'4", 4'4", 4'3" guy, and that's my version of dominant number 1 wide receiver. Because I know we got some good wide receivers, but I think the Baltimore Ravens need to make some moves in the draft. But I just want to throw that in there. I'm sorry, I just thought about that. We were talking about football and the draft, but yeah, my Ravens got to step it up.
And I think I'm not gonna say they are or they're not because I don't know what their offensive philosophy is going to be, but I do know this. They still have Derrick Henry. They do got Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Like I said, the receiving corps, they got Zay Flowers. Let go of Likely, which tells me they may be looking towards Sadiq, that tight end there in the draft. Like, big guy, ran, 4.3, 40 at 6'3", 240 pounds, something like that. Very, very fast tight end. I can see them maybe chasing after something like that, possibly losing Likely. But you still got Mark Andrews. He can still ball out a little bit. But who are they going to go after the draft? I have no idea. I would like to see them shore up their defense a little bit. And maybe they're going to need another guard, too. They just lost Falali to the Giants.
Yeah.
Giants just signed in today. So they need some offensive line help. They also lost their fullback, so I'm guessing they're changing the offensive philosophy without going without fullback because the Giants also signed Patrick Ricard from the Ravens also. Sorry about that. But it's not like you guys blew up the season last year, so this might be good for you guys. I think Lamar, he said publicly that he's excited for this new coaching staff, excited in the direction they're going. Matter of fact, he's there at training camp on a contract with 0 guaranteed money. Okay?
Yeah.
How many players are out there playing? We're talking star players who are willing to have to go out there and play, risk their bodies with 0 guaranteed. Now, granted, you're Lamar Jackson. You've got a pretty good idea your team's not going to cut you if you happen to get a little sprained ankle or something like that, early in training camp, because you're just too doggone valuable. And they have there's no backup for Lamar Jackson. I think they got Huntley.
Yeah.
But like I said, they have no backup for Lamar Jackson, at least his talent level. I think they might be okay though. We're really gonna have to see. But if you gotta focus Lamar Jackson, and you got a healthy Derrick Henry, and you got a healthy Zay Flowers, that's a lot of ifs. But if all that happens, you're gonna have a team that's guaranteed at least 10 wins. If those guys stay healthy all year long, I will take the over on 10 wins. Absolutely take the over on 10 wins. There's just too much talent just in those three positions. We've seen those three positions be successful before. Dallas Cowboys, right? Aikman, Smith, and Irvin. Not saying those three are Hall of Famers like these three, but the only person that's not going to be Hall of Famer is Zay Flowers yet. But Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry are definitely on their way. And so when we see those good triples there, that's going to be something. So we'll see. We'll see what they're going to do. But as for Shedeur, they're in Cleveland. They might give him a chance to... I know they're going to give him a chance to compete to win the job. Are they going to draft someone? Most likely. Are they going to sign a high-dollar veteran? I don't think so, because it's just going to be another bridge person, and if you need a bridge, Shedeur can be that bridge. For next year, let's say you're in the position to draft Arch Manning, and Arch Manning has a fantastic season there at Texas, then Shedeur becomes your bridge quarterback. He would be a better bridge quarterback than bringing in an Andy Dalton or someone like that, I think. At least someone you can grow with, and he can be a long-term backup. But if he wins the starting job outright and he plays wonderful, then guess what? You get to save that pick you're going to pick Arch with. Maybe you can trade down, gain more assets with it, but it all comes down to Shedeur Sanders. Is he going to put in the time and the effort to be that starting quarterback? I believe he's going to try for sure. But then is Cleveland going to then give him the weapons, the offensive line, all the things you need? Now, he's got a decent running back. He's got a decent offensive line. His defense themselves are going to be okay, but they still need some other offensive weapons around him. I'm interested. I'd say the Cleveland Browns story is going to be as interesting as any story in football, because it's going to be around, hey, are they trying to, mess with Shedeur? Are they trying to, basically terrorize his season and make sure he fails? Or are they going to actually try to win? And I'd like to see the story where Cleveland Browns try to win. Like the movie with Kevin Costner. And a great draft, and everything is wonderful, and everyone's hugging at the end. That's what you want to see for the Browns, because I love an underdog story, and there's no bigger underdog than the Cleveland Browns. I mean, with or without Shedeur, they are the ultimate underdog story, because the Lions are no longer the laughing stock of the league, and the Browns still are holding that crown. But hey, you know what? We'll see. We'll see. And your boy Shedeur is going to get a shot.
That's all I want. That's all I'm asking for.
I'm switching sports on you, and I want to know who this shot here, because this is crazy. Now the Lakers, they've been on a burner. Not in the past few games though. Not in that 40-point loss to OKC. But before that, they were on a heater. But Luka's out. Austin Reeves going to be out, most likely to the playoffs. LeBron James is out with some foot soreness, but he's not going to be out for long. They're third in the West. Only a handful of games outside being in the play-in tournament, which they do not want to be in the play-in tournament, because anything can happen. You could make it to the playoffs, or most likely not make it to the playoffs. So you want to stay in at least third, fourth seed. I don't know if the Lakers can hold together. They are too close to being in the play-in tourney, and the fact that they're going on this here at this time of the season, getting DeAndre Ayton to play a little bit, and Luka's playing out of his mind. Austin Reeves playing out of his mind. LeBron James is playing as good as he possibly can as a 42-year-old man in the NBA. Can the Lakers hold on and stay in the playoff hunt? Or are they going to fall into the play-in tourney and possibly fall out of contention, thus blowing up this team in the offseason?
I think, year 22, 21, year LeBron, as long as he doesn't miss some significant amount of time, I think he can hold it together. He's played with worse rosters than this. And definitely held it together. So I believe, with Reeves and Luka being out possibly to the playoffs, hey, I think LeBron can do it, and the world wants to see playoff LeBron again. We haven't seen playoff LeBron in a long time with like a decent chance to win. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy the Lakers been improving because I'm a big Lakers fan. We know Kobe, that's my boy. So shout out. Oh yeah, I forgot. Shout out Space Jam Jordan. So
Yep.
yeah. But yeah, of course I want the Lakers to win, but oh man, like I say, LeBron, it's gonna be a tough task because he could say his mattress can make him questionable for the next day. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I just wait. I might sleep wrong, and like my back hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like I done heard him out his mouth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna sleep the wrong way and be like, oh man, nah, I can't play today. So yeah, I think the Lakers gonna hold on to it. Oh yeah, also real quick, how do you feel about LeBron's quick comments about the whole Memphis situation, telling them like they need to move the team from Memphis to Nashville?
You know what, LeBron, he's entitled to his opinion, as everyone's entitled to their opinion. And I don't think there's anything wrong with a player saying, I think this or this. But when he says something, it's always like, why did he say that? What's your motive? You already know he's got things in his mind that he's already that he's working on after the NBA. And so I'm like, what? Is he trying to get a piece of the action, or is he just saying this? Hey, let's expand the team. We should have an expansion team there in Nashville, which wouldn't be a terrible idea. We'd have Tennessee have 2 teams, but I don't know. What do you think?
Like I say, $1 billion LeBron. He makes chess moves, so he might be trying to put his little name in the hat over there. Like move it to Nashville. We could do something.
Right.
I've also heard about him possibly being in ownership talks with I believe the team they're trying to move to Vegas, and I also heard that they're getting Seattle might be getting the Sonics back.
I've heard that a lot. I have heard that a lot. But they've been talking, like I said, they've been talking about that for more than a decade.
I mean, they said I seen something recently about 2028. They said they were talking about doing the expansion from like the actual like league source they was talking about. So hopefully, we can see. But I know me and you, we've been to Memphis a couple times. Memphis is a cool city to me. So I don't understand what the hostility about. Memphis. I've heard certain players, out of town players, getting robbed walking from the arena to the hotel across the street.
It's a rough town. Memphis is a rough town. It really is a rough town. But it's also a beautiful city with tons of culture. If you just head down Beale Street and just see some of the local talent there. They got great cigar lounges out there. Great food, great people. Yes, rough town, but guess what? When you and I, we've traveled all over the country for work, and I tell you, there's rough towns everywhere, and there's wonderful people everywhere in those same rough towns. So there's nothing wrong with Memphis. Memphis is fine. You should not take their team away from them. But if you want to give Nashville a team, then give Nashville a team and just say that.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
And now that I got a homeboy there at work who's a Grizzly fan, like a real one. Like he knows who all the players are. He knows who they've drafted. He thinks they're going to draft, and so we're going to have him on sometime. But he's the only Memphis Grizzly fan that I know personally. Of course, I know they're all over the place. You see them all over social media. But to know one in person here in Dallas, Texas, it's a thing. It's a thing. So I'm pretty excited about it.
I mean, I've always respected the old school Memphis players. Zach Randolph. And Tony Allen.
Tony Allen.
Because Tony Allen used. Yep. Marc Gasol, Paul Gasol when he first was over there. But it was real cool seeing Marc Gasol like grow into his own. Yes. In Memphis, and then also seeing Kobe and Tony Allen going back, back, not necessarily back and forth, but Tony Allen giving Kobe, some trouble on the. It's always seeing like the greats figure out a puzzle. And that's why I feel like with basketball, like he had to figure out that puzzle with Tony Allen, because Tony Allen is a great defender, and he'll hit some timely shots from time to time too. So yeah, I'm not taking away his offensive game, but shout out Memphis. I don't think the team should leave Memphis. I don't think the team should leave the city of Memphis. I believe Memphis is a great city, beautiful people. But like I said, like you just said, any city is a little rough. Like it could be a little rough. You're not going to wear your Rolex and chain in the certain streets in New York either. I don't care how safe you might feel Manhattan is. You're not going to. I've seen John Wick. You're not going to do it.
Right. That's right.
But yeah, bro. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they hate.
No, I'm gonna talk about another city who I usually do hate on because there's just a rivalry between their city and ours. But shout out to the Boston Celtics and Jaylen Brown. That's my guy. He has brought them to the number 2 seed when it's supposed to be a gap year because Tatum's gone. Tatum's back. They're 13-2 since Tatum's returned. Bro, as much as I was like, yeah, I'm okay with the Knicks facing the Celtics. We beat them last year. And Tatum got hurt, but we were beating them when Tatum was healthy, and I'm not scared of the Boston Celtics. I'm still not scared of them, but my eyes are wide open because Tatum isn't even Jason Tatum right now. He's JT. He's not Mr. Tatum yet. He's on his way there, but Jaylen Brown is balling. Tatum's balling. Pritchard, all them guys. And the guys they lost, who you thought they couldn't live without, man, Derek White, of course, he's balling. But holy cow, that team, Joe Mazzulla, hats off to you, buddy. Great job to the players staying motivated. I can't say enough great things about that squad. And that's not to try to soften them up, but if they wanted to not embarrass the Knicks, I much appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, bro, it's about to be a problem because with Jaylen Brown this whole season while Tatum was out, he has shown people like, hey, I told y'all I was that dude, and I'm showing you I'm that dude. Now that I got Big Dog back, and Big Dog is cool playing number 2. Like the league, everybody wants to push him as like the leader of that team because he's by far the most skilled player on that team.
Oh yeah.
But Jaylen Brown ain't far behind him, and it's that one thing we talked about it, and they showed the X-ray of the dude's chest, and you see the little beagle sitting out there, and you see the little beagle popping out, and it's like Jaylen Brown got that dog in him. Okay, we know it's certain things that you can't teach, and it's like Tatum is highly skilled. I respect Tatum. He is that dude. He is like the best player on that team, but through crunch time in certain situations, you need a dog. Jaylen Brown is that dog, and shout out Jaylen Brown because a lot of people don't really know how intelligent that young man is. Like he's giving lectures at MIT, like tours around, like worked at NASA. Like this dude is one of the smartest dudes in the NBA. And like I said, shout out because a lot of kids they don't put being that dog and intelligence in the same category. Right. they just, I don't know why, but like shout out Jaylen Brown for breaking stereotypes and showing that hey, you can be that dog and still have a high level of intelligence moving out here in these streets.
You can be a dog and smart. It's okay. Yes, that dog can learn new tricks. You know what I'm saying? Yes, absolutely. Speaking of not learning new tricks, in the WNBA, Angel Reese has been traded from Chicago to Atlanta, your hometown. Actually, not your hometown, but your town that you're living in right now.
Yeah, current town.
And the reason why I said I ain't learn new things because I have not seen any attempt on her trying to improve her offensive game. And she's capable of it because I've seen her rebounding. I've seen her play defense. I think the same skills would apply to offense. I've seen a couple, but I don't see an improvement. We'll just say that. How do you feel about this? I mean, Atlanta Dream got Angel Reese for 2 first-round picks, one this year, one next year. I think is Atlanta? Are they one piece away from contending for a chip? And is this the piece?
I feel like this is strictly a marketing ploy for Atlanta. They know Angel Reese is highly loved and adored by the local women in Atlanta, in and around Atlanta. Just like you just said, what piece, like a defensive rebounding piece, like because they're getting it like offensive wise. I'm not hating on Angel, but she, I don't understand because we have seen our girl Aja Wilson with working out with Bam Abayu and Bam, and I see the progress in Aja. Aja is the best hooper, in WNBA right now.
Oh, yeah.
Partly because I didn't see her quote saying Bam Abayu has sent her like her shot into like the third row, blocking it and trying to certain moves, certain offensive moves, and it's like she's like yelling at him, nobody in my league can do that. Okay, stop it. It's like, but we know from playing, just pick up basketball. You play with, growing up, you play with bigger, taller dudes and bigger, stronger dudes. That's how you get better because you figure out that puzzle. You figure out certain things, you figure out ways around it. And I have not seen any progression in Miss Angel Reese's offensive game. We know she can, rebound, play defense. But as far as being a dominant force in this league, she gonna have to be more proficient around the basket because a lot of those rebounds she gets, that's the running joke. It's the me-bound because she gets most of her rebounds from her missed, shots around the basket. And it's like, I get it, but bro, you got to step it up. And it's like, for her off the court, everything she has going on, I applaud, I salute, I celebrate it. Get her bag, but please keep the main thing. As the big dogs with old dogs would say, with Dion and Jordan, you keep what brought you to the party is basketball, and we just want to see you, progress in basketball. Start putting the ball on the floor because I have her dribbling. I'm not gonna go on a hate train with that. Like, so I'm sorry, but yes, we just want to see some progression.
And I'm sitting there looking at what Atlanta, what they're doing. They're kind of like the Rams, where they're like, F these picks. Is Angel Reese worth 2 first-round picks? Probably not. She's a good rebounder, has not a lot of offensive skills, right? Can put up probably 10 points, 13 points a game. But one thing this is, the Atlanta Dream were 3rd in the league in terms of their win-loss record. This may be their feeling of this is the piece they need. They don't have anyone who's a really solid rebounder in that squad. 5.3 rebounds is a top rebounder. 6 rebounds at best. You put an Angel Reese on that squad to just give them extra possessions. Get your offensive rebounds. Get all the defensive rebounds. That may be the one thing that puts them over the top. Now, can they beat the Vegas Aces? Woo, I don't know about all that because, like you said, Aja Wilson and gang, they know how to play some basketball. However, sometimes all you need is that one spark. Dennis Rodman didn't have a ton of offensive game either, but he was a catalyst in winning some championships, right? Because just the way he played. Maybe Angel Reese finds that dog in her and she starts being crazy on defense. We already know she can rebound the ball. Offensively, just get your putbacks, put your easy twos up. Don't try to shoot the ball. Hit your free throws. This could be a big stepping stone for the Atlanta Dream and Angel Reese, thus only furthering her brand, like you said, a marketing ploy, but also maybe a championship ploy.
Oh, hopefully so, because she could hopefully be that piece. But she's gonna have to show something. Because you just made reference to Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman had a couple of Rockwallers and Doberman pinchers in his chest. Like that was a dog, okay? Like I see him go head first into the crowd to get a rebound and throw it back in. Like he did not care about physical harm or any disrespect to any other players. Like he was D'ing up. This dude was playing defense against Shaq and doing a decent job. Was frustrating Shaq. Shaq wanted to fight. Like I remember that. And like I remember Jordan like grabbing the dude and like, hey, come here. We gotta talk. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this is that comparison. If she get like I say more more offensive possessions, more defensive possessions, get the defensive rebounds, do a thing. But hey, if like you just said, the highest rebounder averaged 5. She averaged like 10, close to 10. So she gonna she gonna do her thing. It's just like I said, we just want the best for Angel, and I'm just being critical as a big cousin. Like, girl, like we love you. Do your thing. Put some time into the basketball court. I know she tends to date the NBA players. Dude, pull the Aja, bring them dudes to the court, and you don't gotta film it. Don't put it out there. But you gonna have to, you learn some, go through your lumps and learn how to, get your shot together and get your ball handling together. Because I haven't really seen like her put it on the floor and drive as much in the NBA. I seen it in college a little bit, but I haven't seen it too much in the NBA, WNBA, just because the skill level is higher. She's have a lot of girls swiping at the ball. She a taller girl. She gonna have to learn how to bend down and
lower your dribble.
Yeah. So she gonna put it together. Hopefully she does, and we wish good things for her. But man, WNBA. Hey, we hope, of course, I'm Atlanta Dream fan. I want them to win a championship. That's just more clout for the city, but we're gonna see. But man, I appreciate everybody tuning in this week for this episode, PlayAction Podcast. What I'm saying? Appreciate everybody tapping in for all the networks, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Appreciate it. Man, we'll holler at y'all next week. Appreciate it. Peace.
Welcome to the show where the game comes alive. Breaking down the plays, we keep the spirit high. From the field to the mic with passion and flair. It's the PlayAction Podcast, your ultimate fanfare. It's your ultimate fanfare.